There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
It is 8P, the place to be. It is the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. He is the 2024 IGR Mixed Master Champ. Of course, it is Mr. Frankie Frezko.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
And we already got the chat going. Bounce DJ in, no doubt in, my dad in. And if you're watching this on X, don't forget you can jump over Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel, Frankie Frezko YouTube channel. Jump over to the other one, hit subscribe to both. Please, we thank you all for all your support. And start the show off, of course, yesterday, the passing of Sid Udy, better known as Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, whichever era you went through, but you knew that he was intense. And he also, the leg off the top rope is running ECW. A lot of things, but the one thing that you always knew when you saw Psycho Sid was it was going to be intense. And I want to send thoughts and prayers out to his family. And, he's going to be missed. I mean, he was going around, I guess, apparently, his son put out that he had cancer. And there was a lot of people in the industry that talked with him that did not know that he had the cancer and stuff. So
yeah, he kept it really
he kept it
quiet.
very close and under the vest. But thoughts and prayers out to his family. And you will be missed, Psycho Sid. All right. Now we go on to the talk that we have. We did do our AEWs. We did prediction show. Then we had All in London. And then we did our reaction show right after. But we're going to go a little deeper into some of the stuff tonight. I was unfortunately on a time crunch through there, but we're going to digest a little bit of that here tonight. No pun intended. Terry's in. What's up, Sean and Frankie? Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody that's jumped in. If you're
Can I ask you?
Yep, go ahead.
Can I ask you something? I know it's breaking news. We usually don't talk about it as much, but I wanted to get your opinion on it because it's. I think it's going to be a big move in the WWE world. Your thoughts, sir, in NXT moving from the Orlando facility and eventually making its way over to Las Vegas?
I guess my question would be: Are they moving?
Supposedly, they had a like a meeting with all the wrestlers, letting them know that that's the plan, that they're going to eventually be moving over to Las Vegas, and they didn't know what to expect. They're saying that some of them are moving, some of the wrestlers that are
But
here.
here's what I got from Fightful. This is what they just put out. They said WWE says they're not moving the Performance Center. Reports emerged on August 27th claiming that the WWE Performance Center would be moved to Las Vegas from Orlando. WWE sources that Fightful Select spoke to that afternoon claim that is false. The original report cited Mark Shapiro as announcing that during a meeting, which one WWE source reached out quickly to say didn't happen unless there was another meeting held. Additional sources within WWE say that Mark Shapiro did not make an announcement indicating a move to Las Vegas for the WWE PC. Specifically, we're told that Mark Shapiro was making a point that Las Vegas is a sports and entertainment destination and that having a WWE presence there is on the table. However, the company would need to figure out what that presence is, how much of a presence it would be, and when. No sources at the WWE Performance Center had heard of any plans to move to Vegas and were shocked when they saw word that it could happen. Many sources noted the proximity of the current PC to talent on the main roster and the ability to easily access it. Among other things, cost of living trainee talent was mentioned as being far more beneficial in Orlando. And to answer your thing, what you were going to ask there is my first response was it's TKO. They're based in Vegas, so it would make sense. But that is they're getting paid peanuts to live in Orlando. You're going to have to up that pay scale if you move them to Vegas for them to be able to live. Unless you're going to buy like one of those UFC fighter homes, and when you're in training, you're living all in one home or something like.
Well,
the cost of living there is going to be crazy, and then the other thing is, you lose the free labor.
I mean, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer says that the claim that the WWE Performance Center moving to Las Vegas was correct. But, however, it remains unclear whether this new facility will replace the current one in Orlando or it will operate alongside it.
I mean, it makes sense because TKO is headquartered in Vegas, not, in Orlando, but you're going to house 200, contracted wrestlers, and you're going to take away the place where when you have wrestlers on the heel, most of them live in Tampa, Orlando, and they can drive over. So, I mean, I don't know. It is unless their contract's up with, oh man, I'm drawing a blank on where they're out of now when they do the NXT Full Sail. Unless their contract with Full Sail or that agreement is up, like, I don't know why you would want to move.
I agree with you, man. I don't know why they would move. I think, like you said, it'll be more expensive.
Yeah,
and even if they try to do a second location like in Las Vegas, I don't know what's the benefit of that either.
Well, I mean, the only reason they would do it is because you have the UFC. TKO is headquartered there, so now everything's in Vegas. Because right now WWE is basically headquartered in Connecticut, and NXT's in Orlando. And then you have TKO in Vegas with the UFC. So, I mean, ultimately, they probably want to get everything under one roof. And they have the Apex Center there, which they just did the NXT pay-per-view, right? That was an NXT pay-per-view that they did. Or, so, I mean, it's not like it's like a big, huge jump for them because they'd only have to build another Apex type building, like another building like that for them to go. But they would almost have to build dorms or something to be able to house, the talent, because there's no way you're going to pay them cost of living to live in Vegas to train. Because right now, I mean, I know, I mean, again, there's other, but I know some that make $500 to $750 a week. You know,
Oh,
they
wow.
don't make a lot. They don't make a lot. Now you got your Roxanne's and other thing like that you know, kind of make up there. But also some of those guys are not, and gals are not making that. I think once you get on, you know, the NXT program and you're making, you know, more of a name, then you get a additional contract. But some of them are just paid to train. And now you're going to move them to Vegas and you're going to fly. I mean, I just believe that Orlando is a very easy spot for most of them to get in and out of also. Now you're going to be flying to Vegas just to go train. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a good move. I can understand they want to get everything in one area. Logistically, I can understand that. But I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing for the talent or the company, because now you're going to spend more on, you know, because again, right now they moved them to Orlando. They forced them to move to Orlando to work with NXT. And so now you're going to force people to live in Vegas?
Again, for me, it doesn't make any logical sense. But I mean, I understand that the TKO is their main headquarters and all that stuff is in Vegas, but I don't get it. I think it's unless they're trying to do something bigger than before, but I don't get
What
it.
might make sense if they built like a I don't know what would be the best thing, because there's a lot of like, and again, I say open land because to me it looks open land. I don't know who owns it or if it's already bought, but there's land there where they could build up, and you could build a decent sized where you could have, almost like a college campus, but then this side's UFC, this side's WWE. You could run, and then you could even open it up and start like production schools and everything through it too. You know what I'm saying? So then you train everybody. So now you're training your camera operators, and this goes for the UFC side too. So now when they get onto the pay-per-view level, they already know what they're doing. They know where they should be. They know what angles they need to be at. You can work the whole production team that way if you want to do something like that. But that's a huge investment, man. That's a huge investment on a lot of stuff, especially when right now you have Full Sail kind of taking up the production side for you. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's going to be interesting, man. That because I saw when you said it, and I know you sent me the one, and then I kid you not, like an hour later, I saw that from Fightful. That's why I didn't. And you're saying Meltzer saying it's legit. So I don't know. I don't know what is actual. So
yeah, they're saying that
obviously they said something was said, but maybe it's been misconstrued on what was meant by what he said, or I don't know. Or maybe a cat got out of the bag before they wanted it to.
I think that might.
Now you can't get it back in.
I think that was the case, but we'll see. Hopefully, something develops more between the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, we'll get a lot more information. All right, let's start with AEW, because tonight we do have our picks for Bash in Berlin, so we'll end it on the WWE side. Looking back, we've had some time to sit back, reflect a little bit. Anything changed for you on AEW All In from what we had said about it?
No. I think everything was solid, man. I honestly felt they delivered with that pay-per-view. I don't think they needed to do anything different except probably the Jericho this guy Hook match.
Yeah.
Maybe that one was the only kind of downfall, but besides that, I mean, even like we spoke about it, the Britt Breaker Mercedes Moné match, it was still a very good match. Maybe it was a little bit hard to keep up with the Will Ospreay MJF match.
Follow that. It was not. And honestly, that was one of the best produced pay-per-views, and also like the tempo of it played out very well. It was just bang, 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 and go. Maybe we have to schedule more Taylor Swift concerts in cahoots with the AEW events. But that was now my main thing now is, can they keep it rolling? They've already said Ricochet against Kyle Fletcher for this Wednesday, so that's going to be interesting to see. And then I've seen more people upset about Ricochet and things like. I mean, like I don't know what you thought he was going to do as far as debuting. I thought one of two things you do, or actually three. One, he debuts and confronts Osprey, and you start that right away, which I think would have been a mistake. Two, he confronts your champion, which I think that, again, if you want to throw an FU to WWE, you could do that, but I still think that would be a mistake. I like what they did with him. I like the fact that they put him in there, they let him showcase what he could do, and then he didn't get pinned, he didn't figure into the finish because it was just one person pinning another, and now you have him going one-on-one against Kyle Fletcher, who again is best friends with Will Ospreay. So now are you planting little seeds in there where, and again, maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know. But I feel like right now, and AEW to me has been hitting on pretty good with the storytelling. It's been pretty damn good, man. And it continued at the pay-per-view. And even at which we discussed, there's still some little eggs that were dropped. That stuff's going to continue on heading into All Out, and that's all you can ask for. Is that there's more stuff to bring you to want to watch it.
Well, I mean, in the post show, they also had like a moment there when Saraya went out flipping out and stuff, and now you're also getting Jamie Hayter versus Harley Cameron tomorrow because of that. And you also had a little bit of you're getting some, obviously I don't think the Tony Storm Mariah May feud is going anywhere. I think it will continue because obviously Mariah May will be addressing.
You may not see it escalate this week, but I think as it goes, because I think you saw Tony Storm starting to snap. Now does she show up? And because I almost felt like she was almost Jokerish, the Sting Joker. Mm-hmm. When Sting did the Joker with TNA, where he's like laughing and smile, because if you saw her, she did the dance as she's leaving, as they were singing her stuff. She did the little dance and everything, and I think you're going to see some of that, just the craziness of Tony Storm down. I would like for them to let it breathe a little bit though this week. I don't need to see Tony Storm necessarily attacking her right away. Let Mariah May get her flowers. Let her get her, her 10 minutes of, she's the champ now. And then maybe if you want to have her come out there or whatever, but I don't think there needs to be any contact. It's just, to introduce the snap Tony Storm and all that. Like, I just don't want to see that. I don't need them to escalate the feud right away because, again, even if they run it back at All Out, it's already at a good place. Like, they don't need to go and battle on Dynamite just to lead into the next pay-per-view. I think that feud sells itself now.
Yeah. Now I have a question for you. Have the numbers been revealed for All In? Have they gotten the full numbers as far as
I haven't seen that. And usually that don't come out for a while, especially those, because now with all the streamings and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like AEW All In, you can find basically on every streaming service, I think this time. It was on YouTube, it was on Bleacher Report, it was on DAZN, it was on almost every streaming platform that you could get. And then kudos also to, I saw AEW in Australia. They will be on ESPN. Wow. ESPN in Australia. So they will be they're doing the Grand Slam, which is February 2025. And then I don't know if it's going to be every week Dynamite, but Dynamites will start also on the ESPN Australia. I wonder if that would be interesting if that happened in the US, because TKO is kind of invested into ESPN with the UFC. That'd be interesting to see how that works out.
I did see that Tony Khan went on social media and said that they did sell over 50,000 tickets.
Yeah, well, they had, the numbers were like 53, I think, is what WrestleTix put out there. It was like 53,000 tickets or something like that. That was so.
Yeah, and he said it was kind of like a bold statement as well that this pay-per-view was or will be either one or two as far as the highest bought pay-per-view for AEW, right behind AEW's Revolution when Sting retired. So
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope so for them, man, because that was a good ass pay per view, man. I hope the numbers match it, man.
Now I want to ask you something. Earlier this week, I sent you
Oh,
a message on X, and I know you read it because it was a breakdown of AEW, and
oh, yes.
I like the post because it obviously broke down what Tony Khan's mindset was for AEW,
Well,
and
also it was Tony Khan and at the time the EVPs. If you
correct,
remember, the way AEW started, and then like 2 months in, it changed. Remember
correct,
that it was started as the EVPs were kind of in control. Tony Khan was kind of like the money guy, and then like a month or two in, it flipped a little bit, and that's where I think a lot of the things happen. But you got the tweet. You sent me the tweet. Do you have it up right now? Or I have mine up. I don't know if you want me
I
to
have mine
do it.
up. I have mine up.
Okay,
I don't know
great.
if you wanted to share it or you want me to just read some of the stuff
No,
that they
just
had
just
on there.
read it, and so then we can go through it with the live stream crew.
Okay, so one of the first things that they first came out was with a ranking system where they had wins and losses. It looks like they had the system quite done away back in August of 2022. I guess that's when CM Punk requested it to be gone. Then they brought it back in January of 2022, and then it got discontinued 3 months later. To my knowledge, I still think they keep the record, but I don't think they have any more of the power rankings
Yeah.
like they used to. So they kind of went away with that. Another thing that they kind of went away was AEW wouldn't go. What was promised was AEW wouldn't go after fans for posting clips of content on social media.
That didn't last
Um,
at all.
that didn't last long at all. He promised 4 yearly pay-per-views as opposed to WWE's 12. We're at what, 9? I think
9
12.
this year. The most ever would be 9. And Karun, we talked about that a little bit earlier, but you're right. R.I.P. Psycho Sid.
He promised AEW was not going to have writers because Tony Khan preferred to work with the talent directly to distance himself from the soap opera style of WWE. And then he hired Jennifer Pepperman.
Yeah, but
from
Jennifer
WWE.
Pepperman is Mercedes Moné's personal writer. She's not writing for AEW. She's writing for Mercedes Moné. But look, this is what I will say about that. They tried it.
And it looks like they're working on it. It looks like they're
No. They're going to writers now, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They tried their way. It doesn't work on episodic TV.
no.
You have to tell stories to get people to come back.
Yes.
Yeah, you can have great matches, but they're going to tune in for that great match and then they're going to be out the door. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? They're not buying a ticket to where, hey, I'm buying a ticket, I stay for the whole show. No, if you're watching on TV, like, oh, I know MJF, he's going to be first. Boom, I watch him. Boom, I'm out. And that's where I think, like, it was on paper a great idea. We just give him great match after great match after great match. The problem is, and I think it's further down also, was when they started, they didn't want to have a huge roster.
No, that's another
Well, after
one.
you had your great matches 3-4 months in, what do? There's no more new matches. You're screwed. And you've done no stories. You haven't, you know what I'm saying? So I believe that one was overzealous by them thinking that, oh, we can do it just on wrestling. Pay-per-view wise, yes. Pay-per-view sell on the matches. But episodic TV, to have everybody tune in week after week after week after week, is on investment and your storytelling.
100%. Another one was that Tony Khan repeatedly said that he did not want to be an on-screen character, which for us, he has shown up. Remember in Neck Brace and all that stuff.
I think he should do more. I think
he should do more. He should be one of the main focal points in on screen. To be honest,
if you're going to do it 100%. If don't just do it to where like I come out and I make an announcement. Screw that, man. Come out, dude. People hate you. Let them hate you. Feed off that. Use MJF as your inspiration. Like, I mean, dude, you would sell some of that stuff. And again, I get it. You want to be different than, what Vince did there and everything else. But remember, that company didn't take off until he did that. That started the Attitude Era.
That did.
Before that, it was WC. They were about to go out of business.
100%. Well, you mentioned a smaller roster because you can't pay every talented wrestler $100K. That's where WCW went wrong. If you kind of look at this year's last couple of signings, I'm pretty sure he topped 100K just with one of them. To be honest with you, Mercedes Moné.
What are you talking about?
Mercedes
Moné's making $4 million a year. Osprey's $3 million. 100K. That shit's out the door, man. They're wiping their asses with 100K.
Maybe that's why they get paid in a month.
You skipped over the one where they said, well, it's promised a sports-based product.
Oh, yeah.
And then what AEW delivered? Timeless Tony, Orange Cassidy, The Acclaimed, Dinner Debonair, the Mimosa Mayhem match, Roderick Strong's Adam character, Jake Hager's hat, Danhausen, The Dark Order, Texas Chainsaw match. And honestly, I liked most of those.
Yeah, I did. I did so too. I thought that was like
again,
that helped them.
That's what you got. That's got to be the entertainment. That's the thing where I think they went wrong. They're like, oh, we're going to do ranking systems. It's going to be sports themed, not sports entertainment. Dude, that's what you're in. You're in the sports entertainment business. Everybody understands what wrestling is now. This isn't the 80s when you could maybe, because of the kayfabe and people didn't understand how wrestling worked, you could make it work. But now, dude, everybody understands what wrestling is. It is entertainment. Like, I don't understand how you're going to we're taking the entertainment out of sports entertainment. So what do you have? Collegiate wrestling? Get everybody in singlets? Put them in a little circle and, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think, look, they got off to a great start because, again, I know Tony Storm said it numerous times. He knew the first 4 world champions he wanted to have. They had it in the can. There's many stories where you can see how he's got to form up. He knew what shows he wanted to do for like 2 years. They had it already written out what they wanted to do, and it was great. It was great for that time. Then when that ended, that's when everything just kind of, the hell's going on here?
Yep, another one.
It's like the scripted plays on the Dolphins offense. You come out the first 10, bam, 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 touchdown.
It works.
What happens after that? What the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? So
another promise that Tony Khan gave out there was quality over quantity. First you started with Dynamite for 2 hours. Now you're at Dynamite, Rampage, Collision. Obviously, more.
This is what I thought was odd when they said this. They have the same amount of weekly content as the main roster WWE.
Wow, I didn't know
they have 5 hours of TV. I didn't even think about that. Actually, WWE's got 3 Raw,
2
SmackDown. That's 5. So you've got 2 Dynamite, 2 Rampage, or 1 Rampage, and 2 Collisions. They got 5 hours. Yeah.
They got the exact same thing. And then, of course, obviously, the excessive matches that they typically like to do in all of these pay-per-views, which is like 12, 14, 15 matches. That kind of...
But also, did you see the picture? It says AEW on TNT. Cody Rhodes wants quality over quantity.
Maybe a lot of these things wasn't what AEW Tony Khan promised. It was more like you said.
I think it was what the vision of what AEW was, because it was supposed to be everything that WWE wasn't.
Yeah.
We're your alternative because we are not going to be anything like them.
Yeah, I think they sold that, and unfortunately they kind of realized that they got a reality check and said, nah, we're not going to survive if we keep doing this. We're going to have to start making some moves. And
not only that, but then you bring Jericho from WWE, Moxley from WWE. Like, you're building using those guys. Like, that's the part where, like, it's not like they had a name in AEW. I mean, in WWE, like, it was odd to me. Like, because you were going to like, oh, we're going to do all this home-based talent. And then you bring Moxley, like, right in the first pay-per-view. Jericho was already there, which is what it is. At that time, Jericho could still go, so that wasn't a bad thing. And again, and they built up the Orange Cassidys, the Darby Allens, the things like that. It's just some of it's jumped the shark now to me because like Darby Allin, as I said during the pay-per-view, there's people that were mad because he didn't jump off the top of Wembley Stadium. That is his expectations now. And that's the problem that you have when you do the crazy stuff. It's like, okay, now what's next? What do they do? What do they do after this?
My biggest pet peeve here is that what homegrown talent has AEW kind of taken out like recently? All their talent has been technically taking it away from the competition. New Japan
But this problem is
wrestlers.
they get the talent and then they don't build their guys with that talent.
But tell me somebody new
Why
that
wouldn't
they
you have
built
guys
up.
wrestling Okada with him as the champion? Like the what is he? He's the Continental, I believe. So why wouldn't the Continental title, instead of the heavyweight title being defended every week, why wouldn't the Continental title be defended and get the Okada rub on some of these younger guys? Or the international title. I mean, when MJF had it, I understand there, but Ospreay, those titles are like your TV titles. Those are the guys that need to, build up some of the homegrown talent using. But also, as you said, look at their champions. Look at their champions right now. Which champions are from AEW?
All right, so we got Mercedes Moné, not from AEW. Tony Storm, not from AEW.
Well, actually, now it's Mariah May, so technically.
But
Mariah May was in WWE before she was in AEW. But but her name was made more in AEW, so we'll give AEW that one.
Okay, we'll give AEW that one. Will Ospreay and New Japan Wrestling.
Yep.
Okada, New Japan. Bryan Danielson, WWE.
Mark Briscoe was or Ring of Honor, if you want to go that route.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
And now
anybody
you got Dustin, who's over there. And on Ring of Honor, you've got Dustin, you've got the Von Erichs, and you've got Sammy Guevara.
Even the trio, even the trios tag team, you have Claudio, which is WWE. Pac.
And
Yeah.
which was more New Japan or before he came over or whatever it was.
Yeah. You don't have anybody from AEW.
Guys, Sammy Guevara and Mariah May are your champions that are actually like AEW born, technically AEW talent. Cat for Life, what's up? No doubt MJF came from I want to say he was with like Ring of Honor type MLW. I know he was doing a thing with him, Richard Holiday, and there was one other person like an MLW, and they were doing a group there. And then he came over because he was friends with Cody. And when they started it, they wanted to have him as the heel. They wanted MJF there to be that heel guy. And technically, I would say he's more AEW because he got his name from AEW. He had a little bit of an indie name, but most of it came from his time in AEW. So that would be a win for AEW.
Well, I actually looked them up because you know what? It's a good question. I've never seen where the history of Jacob Freeman, and it says here that he worked at Combat Zone Wrestling.
Yep, that was that's his home base, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, his ring name was Pete Lightning.
Oh no, that's different. He was always but they didn't do MJF then. It was always Maxwell Jacob Freeman.
Well, he did CZW Dojo Wars.
Yeah, that's Combat Zone Wrestling Dojo Wars. Yep.
And then he returned to his previous ring name, which was Maxwell Jacob Feinstein.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know that. And then after that, he moved up to Major League Wrestling.
Yeah, that's the MLW. He was with Richard Holiday, and I forgot what the name of the group was. They had like a little group there.
Let me see. It says one shot computer match against Yimi Yuta. Let's see. He was the world champion at Battle Riot. It says it just says a couple things. It says on September 20th, Fusion, MJF, and Black. No, it doesn't say anything about their team. or like the name of the group that they come up with. No, it doesn't say anything on it. Just gives his breakdown of him.
It was called the Dynasty.
Oh, okay, yeah, it does. Here it is.
Yeah, it was the
MJF returned
Dynasty.
from injury, and it was called the Dynasty from 2019 to 2020.
Yeah, it was Alexander Hammerstone, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, Richard Holiday, Gino Medina, and Grogan. I'm not sure who that is.
Yes. And then after that, that's when he made his way over to AEW in 2019 and has been with them ever since.
Yeah, no,
You know,
he's pretty much a AEW talent.
you could say that, yeah. It just, I mean, like I said, it's been a little bit disappointing the way that they haven't been able to go ahead and develop any more new talent, especially since that was one of the things that they said that were going to be different than what WWE did, but I guess not.
No, and then also too, the other thing goes is that again, this is where the investment, the storytelling, to have people get invested in those men, women, they just don't do that enough. I mean, what have they done with Daniel? But if say Bryan Danielson showed up and was not Daniel Bryan in WWE, and you watched how they booked him to today, if he was not Daniel Bryan and the Yes Chance and everything else like that, do you think he's where he is right now?
I don't think so, man.
I don't either.
Well, I don't think
either.
so.
By
No.
looking at the booking of how he'd been booked, and I get it, there's been injuries, there's been other things like that, or there's been storyline injuries, things like that. I understand. But like I have not been impressed with the way, just like with Mercedes Moné, when she's like, oh, her biggest thing of the pay-per-view was like, look at the grand entrance I had. Like what about the match?
Like if you kind of look at every single AEW wrestler, who have they elevated besides MJF? That you could say,
Yeah, MJF has elevated himself too.
That's what I feel.
Believe more than what he's been. I mean, I get AEW gives him the platform, but I believe he's taken it that step up to where like you guys can give me whatever. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and it's gonna be good.
Yeah, because like even if you look at Orange Cassidy, he's kind of been on a dip recently. I remember he used to defend his, and I think it was the international belt as well before, for a minute there. But then anybody else? I mean, Warlow has disappeared. Just trying to think who else. Kip Sapien, he's popped here and there. I don't know. I don't know who else out there. I mean, Jack Perry, maybe Jack Perry. There you go. That's a. Well, he was in New Japan before he went to AEW.
Yeah, but not like to the where he's
where he was big, right? I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, he was known. You know, he had the Jungle Boy persona and things like that. And
but you could give
source and stuff like that.
You could give Jack Perry's credit to CM Punk. Literally, CM Punk. Because if it wasn't for CM Punk's drama, he probably would have never. I mean, I feel like he has elevated himself with this whole scapegoat type of character.
Well, it's given it. You know what it's done, and I know this is going to sound like a broken record and everything else, but it has made people invest in his character. They hate him. They hate him, and whether you hate somebody or you like somebody, you're still invested emotionally because if you want to see him get his ass whooped, that's an investment. It's not necessarily always like, oh, they got to cheer for it. No, it's just they got to do something for you. They just can't sit on their asses every time you come out. And like that has elevated him. And that the fact that he wore that damn goat mask the other, like that entrance was badass.
Yeah, I like that.
I liked it.
The other ones that are I guess homegrown would be the Young Bucks because they're the tag team champions. But
yeah, but they already had a name. They'd been in TNA. They'd been I mean, they weren't the young. Well, they were the young. No. What were they in TNA? What the hell are they called? Hold on. I don't remember because they did a stint in WWE as well.
Really? They were in WWE at one point in time?
I believe they were. Yeah.
I had no idea. That's interesting because I would have thought that I thought the Young Bucks never made it over there. But I mean. We could be wrong, I guess.
Well, they had a tryout in San Diego.
Makes sense.
So they had, and they did that. Of course, they did the TNA where they were. What the hell was their names?
Hold on, so I'm looking it up. It says Feud with the Dynasty, World Tag Team. They were in Pro Wrestling Gorilla.
Yeah, it's PWG. It's California.
Never heard of that before.
It's big. It's like GCW back in the day. Like, you know, it was kind of like that. It was like an elevation with like Ring of Honor and things like that.
You had Dragon Gate.
Yep.
In Tokyo, Japan, apparently. They worked, you're right. They did WWE extra work. Matt appeared as a jabber on WWE, on SmackDown, losing to Chuck Palumbo. And then he did like a last man standing, and then it says Young Bucks portrayed Triple H and Shawn Michaels in a segment where they were laid out by John Morrison and The Miz. On August 2011, Young Bucks had a tryout for WWE producers prior to the Raw tapings. So they and then they were at Shikara. Never heard of that before.
Yeah, those were bigger back in the. I believe that was a. It's kind of like what New Japan was now. They would do like, I believe, shows in Japan and then come here.
And then they did a stunt at Ring of Honor from 2009 to 2018.
Yeah, that's when they were loaded. Ring of Honor was loaded, man. When they had AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, the Young Bucks. You had, I mean, they were just, everybody was in Ring of Honor at one time.
Wow.
Ring of Honor's roster, if you looked at that now, it would be like, what the hell?
Yeah, apparently the Young Bucks formed the Bullet Club subgroup, the Elite, with Kenny Omega after helping him kick AJ Styles out of the stable. That was in 2016 to 2019. That was their like gimmick to go with Kenny Omega. And then after that, they were in All In. I don't know what this is. It says doesn't say anything. And then from, I guess, 2018 to 2000 and so on, it's all been AEW.
So here goes. This is 2010. Okay, this was Ring of Honor's roster. Okay, are you ready? Adam Cole, Adam Pearce, Austin Aries, Awesome Kong, Bison Smith, Bob Evans, Caleb Conley, Cedric Alexander, Charlie Haas, Chris Hero, Claudio Castagnoli, Colt Cabana, Christopher Daniels, Davey Richards, Delirious, Eddie Edwards, Eddie Kingston, El Generico, Harlem Bravado, Homicide, Jay Briscoe, Jeremy Buck, Jeremy Lin, Jim Cornette, Joey Ryan, Kenny King, Kenny Omega, Kevin Kelly, Kevin Steen, Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Briscoe, Max Buck, that's the Young Bucks there, Michael Elgin, Mike Bennett, Mike Seidel, Petey Williams, Player Uno at the time, Prince Nana, Rhett Titus, Rocky Romero, Roderick Strong, Sammy Callahan, Sarah Del Rey, Sean Davari, Shelton Benjamin, Sanjay Dutt, Steve Carino, TJ Perkins, Taylor Hendricks, Truth Martini, Tyler Black, who is best known as Seth Rollins, Zach Gowen. That was their roster in 2010.
They were loaded.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a that could compete with AEW easily.
Yeah.
No Doubt says, would you consider Swerve an AEW product? I mean,
yes and no.
He started with WWE, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's grown in AEW.
I will tell you this: he started in WWE. WWE mishandled him. AEW has picked up that ball.
Yeah,
and they have, and Swerve has picked up that as well, and has made the most of his chance that he didn't get in WWE. Because again, at that time with Vince McMahon was typecast, man. Vince McMahon was typecast, bro.
Vince wanted his way or the highway, my friend.
That was the thing. That was the thing. And, you know, again, Swerve Smart said, hey, you know what? I got a good thing here. He could have easily told Tony that, hey, you know what? I'm going to go back. Triple H is in charge now. All the other ones did. Everybody else did. But then Vince came back and then they all left again. Well, AJ left, and then the other two are still there. B-Fab's there, and the other one's on the NXT roster now. But Swerve was smart, man. Swerve stayed. They gave him the opportunity, and he's made the most of it.
He has,
and he's been rewarded for it with that new contract. So,
yeah.
Kudos to him. Man.
Now, who do you see Bryan Danielson defending the belt against? Do you think it's going to be Christian? He's going to cash it in, or do you see somebody right before Christian? Now that he is the new.
Here's the thing. Here's where, like, I know he's doing a thing this Wednesday, right? He's going to talk or something.
Well, they put out a promo video of him. Did you see the promo video that they did for him?
No, I haven't watched that yet. No.
They did a promo video for him, which was pretty nice. If you go to their AEW,
okay, I'll check it out.
You'll see that they did a pretty cool promo video of him.
My question is this: he's not assigned to a full-time deal. I would hope that they run something to where it's not just, I won the belt, I'm going out on top. Although Bryan Danielson probably deserves something that way.
Should.
But I would feel that you have done a big disservice to Swerve if that's the case. Like Swerve got all this momentum, and then now it's just like, hey, here you go, Bryan, just to drop it Wednesday and say, hey, I appreciate you, Swerve, but I have a tournament for it. I don't need it.
I'm calling it quits.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they've got to do something. But then again, I don't know what. Remember, they were pacing him to make sure he made it to All In. Like, they were worried, okay, you're wrestling this week. You're not wrestling that week. You're doing this week. You're in a street fight, so we don't have to take a whole bunch of bumps. You just kind of get hit with stuff. They did that just to make sure he made it to All In. Now, I don't know where they go from here, honestly. I don't. I feel like they put it on Christian. They gave Christian the thing just so that, maybe he comes out and does some underhand shit to win it. And then you're just booing him. So then that you just flip it back over to somebody else. And everybody's like, oh, Christian had the title again. Yay. And this and that. Like, because I feel like there was other people in that match that could have won it that probably would have been better story-wise. Even I think Hangman Adam Page would have been better storyline-wise, especially with him getting involved. Think about this. He wins it. He cashes it in. I'm cashing it in on Wednesday. And then Swerve does the same thing to him that he did to Swerve at the pay-per-view. And then Bryan Danielson keeps the title. And it screws Hangman Page again. And then you've added to the storyline, which is the ultimate result of Hangman and Swerve. Mm-hmm. I don't know where Christian fits in. I don't mean that as like Christian doesn't deserve it. What I mean it is when you're looking at the storylines, like Christian just winning it, just like, okay.
I mean, this is the thing, storyline wise.
And that's why you do these matches though also, because now you got a reset, right? You've got the briefcase if we need a reset. We've got a contract if we want to cash it in, a casino chip. It's a big reset button. And that's what they have right now.
The issue here is that they haven't made any big storylines for Bryan Danielson. This was like the main thing, obviously, against Swerve. So now, obviously getting the contract for Christian, it makes him the easiest person to put up against, which I think it wouldn't be a bad fight between both of them. But if there's somebody I'm trying to think of the roster and trying to see who, before Bryan Danielson decides to retire, who would be an opponent that I would really like to see him wrestle up against and kind of like eventually call it quits. And I know that he technically, maybe he hasn't, but I don't know if he's gonna be back anytime soon. But I would have loved to have seen Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega. I don't think I've seen them fight a couple times. Have they fought on it, or at least if they fought, it hasn't been a minute.
Kenny Omega got hurt. I don't think they ever had They might have had a confrontation, but I don't think they ever had a match.
I don't recall them wrestling one and the other.
Yeah,
but I think if I would like to see Bryan Danielson go out, I think that would be one of the opponents I would definitely like to see him wrestle before he kind of calls it a quits. I think it would be a good fight. I'm trying to think anybody else that I could think of. I mean, not a big fan of Christian. Adam Copeland, maybe.
I mean, I could see with the way everything's going now. Well, I think MJF's going to be with Daniel Garcia at least for the next All Out pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But I could see something, maybe him swerving his way into it. No pun intended.
I don't know, because
I mean, just because he can't, he's that guy that can just like get into anything. It's like, because I don't know that there's anybody that. What is the story with Bryan Danielson now? What, once he loses the belt, he's done? He's leaving?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, who can they put up against him? I mean, he's fought against Will Ospreay. He's fought against. Has he fought against MJF? I think but I just can't give MJF the victory, especially since he just finished losing to Will Ospreay. So it wouldn't make sense to kind of just.
I'm not saying like necessarily a victory, but I'm saying like angle wise. Like, I mean, you could, because then him and MJF could just be sparring until the pay per view. You know what I'm saying? Like verbal, because MJF could carry it without needing like matches and anything else like that to get to a pay per view. Because I don't think if Bryan Danielson is going to keep, he's not going to be at every show.
No.
And that's the other reason why I didn't know. I picked him to win just because I didn't want his career to end. But like, I don't know. It's one of those things to where it was like when we talked about everybody winning the belts, when Swerve won the belt, Damian Priest won the belt, Cody won the belt. What's next? It's the same thing here again. Because the easy thing would be to run it back with Swerve and him, but you also know Hangman's there now too, as well. So
yeah, and I know that Bryan Danielson has fought against Okada, so I don't know if he fought in AEW with Okada, but I think it was the I know they fought in New Japan Wrestling, but I'm maybe they fought in the pay-per-view that they do the combination of both a New Japan Wrestling and AEW, but I know I've seen them fight before. I just don't know. I don't see. I'm trying to look for and see what his kind of like who he's fought. All right, hold on a second. I think I found the site here. So he fought Swerve, Adam Page, Pac, Dante Martin, Kyle Fletcher, let's see, Hechicero, Eddie Kingston, of course, Brody King, just trying to think, Eswar Strickland, obviously, Kyle, Zack Sabre Jr. he fought. No, I think that's it. Yeah. So those are mostly the guys that he's fought. Nobody in particular. He hasn't fought. Okay, so he hasn't fought. When it comes to AEW, he hasn't fought Kenny Omega. He hasn't fought against obviously Adam Copeland, and again AEW. Samoa Joe.
Cole.
He has not fought Adam Cole. He has not fought Samoa Joe.
There's some opportunities there. I just don't know what his aspirations are. Is he sticking around? Is he not? I mean, yeah, he said he was not signing another full-time deal.
He did fight Adam Page, so he doesn't need Adam Page. Jay Lethal he's fought in before. Yeah, there's a couple guys, but there's still some guys out there that he could take on and wrestle, because I don't see him. Yeah, I don't see. I mean, he actually fought Claudio Castagnoli. I didn't even see that match. But yeah, apparently he fought Claudio back in 2023 in a collision match.
Makes sense.
I don't know why, but yeah. But yeah, apparently, yeah, he still has an opportunity to fight somebody. He even fought Ricky Starks a couple times too. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. I guess we're only gonna find out if maybe if they find somebody else. I mean, remember we talked about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all up in the air now, because honestly, look, I wanted him to win. I picked him to win, but that and again, Swerve's momentum doesn't stop because of the loss. I want to make sure that that's not what I'm saying here. But if you did stop that momentum just to put the title up for a tournament afterwards, I don't know if that was a smart idea business wise. For Bryan Danielson, I understand what he's done and everything he means to pro wrestling and all that. Yes, I understand that. But like, I don't know, it seems odd because when you got a guy that says, I'm not signing a full-time deal, and I've already told, my daughters and stuff, it's like, so is it the Ric Flair thing where the next loss is it? It's like, once you lose the title, he's done?
Okay, check this out. I found something here. He fought Kenny Omega at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam back in 2021, but the match ended in a draw. Nobody won. And they never ran it back, which is odd. I did not know that. So, yeah, maybe that is maybe that's an option. If Kenny Omega is back to being healthy, maybe.
Yeah, but that's a big if. And we haven't even heard from him. We haven't heard his name in a while.
DiTrapio is saying Sting versus the Dragon. You think they would bring Sting to fight Bryan Danielson?
Why not?
1-on-1? The old timer? After being retired?
Why not bring back the Dragon and take on the Dragon? Bring Steamboat back in.
Retirement match. The unretired versus the retired.
The Dragon versus the Dragon. I like it. And throw Sting in there too. Why not? Triple threat. Bryan Danielson versus Sting versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Bring the old school. All three of them. But like my brother does say, DiTrapio, hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe. And also don't forget to support us. You see on the bottom right there scrolling. If you want to send us any Cash App or PayPal.
No doubt said, what about cycling back to Samoa Joe? He's out performing. Well, he's doing the series. He's filming that series where he's the ice cream truck guy. I don't even know what the hell it is. What's it called? Metal something or something? Metal Mayhem or some show? The show that he's in. You know what it is called? Or
yes. Man, I forgot. I'm drawing a fart.
Drawing a fart.
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh my God! That's why he's the 2024 IGR Mixed Match Champion right there.
What is the name of that? It's the clown.
Yeah, he's the clown, and it's like Metal Mayhem or something. Like I can't think of it.
Why you throw me under the bus like this? I don't even remember his name.
What are you talking about? I just said I didn't know the name. You said I said Metal something. You said yeah. So I didn't throw you under the bus. That isn't. But again, my question is this:
the hell's the name of the clown?
So if you're going to take the title of Bryan Danielson and do it, he does that match at All In just to get choked out and lose the title to Samoa Joe.
Okay, Twisted Metal. It's under Twisted Metal.
All right,
there you go.
There we go. That would be my only thing. Is like that's the other thing of handling this too. Is like, I mean, maybe they let Bryan Danielson be like, look, I'll lose the title to whoever you want. I'd like to pick him. And maybe pick Samoa Joe, but it's again, it's like, okay, you do all of this, that build up, great match, and then now you go to the next pay-per-view to just drop the title to a new champion.
Yeah, I hope he goes for a little run now.
And again, this is where this is good and intriguing too, because you don't know what is going on. So it makes it like I want to tune in and see what happens. Again, for us wrestling sickos, as Tony Khan likes to call us, we'll tune in and see what the hell's going on. We're sickos.
Well, there isn't too much to talk about when it comes to AEW world. So let's talk now.
Just did an hour on AEW.
Yes, but you could tell that we were kind of like dragging it on. We want to now talk about the real story, the WWE story, sir. The story as to why in the world did WWE mess up last night on Monday Night Raw with that main event fight? Because I feel they messed up big time on that one.
Why do you feel like they messed up?
All right, man. So let's talk about this. You got Bo Dallas, right? He's being hyped up as, this dark character. You're supposed to be scared of him. You put him against Chad Gable, and then you pretty much have for however long that match lasted. I'm assuming it went maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. For the majority of the part, I would probably say about 70, 80% of the match, Chad Gable dominated him, bro.
Yeah.
He dominated him. And I'm like, why are you making him so weak against Chad Gable. Like I
But
thought,
you say he make him look weak, but he never put him away. With all the punishment he did,
doesn't matter.
he never pinned him. He never beat him.
Okay, but that's not the point, Sean.
What is the point, though?
For the last couple months, maybe the last month or so, Chad Gable has been freaking out because the Wyatt Six has been like scaring him, and then he goes 1-on-1 against their main guy, and he dominates him for the most part. Like they made him look weak. They made him look like everything that they've been building up on him. They just kind of like shit on the bed.
Yeah, but also you can't have him just go out there and just kill Chad. Chad Gable has lost. Think about this. Think about this now. Chad Gable has not won on Raw since June. Since Chad Gable got beat down by the Wyatt Six, he has not won a match on Raw.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from, but remember
and he just re-signed contract. He re-signed a contract to get his ass kicked every week.
Remember the Fiend when he fought against Seth freaking Rollins?
Yes.
And Seth Rollins lost to the Fiend. But if you notice, Seth Rollins would you want Chad Gable to look good, just like Seth Rollins looked good in that match. And Seth Rollins would continuously give him kicks, give him punches, stomps, everything. And the Fiend would bounce back and wouldn't die. And when he would bounce back immediately. And you were like, what the hell does this guy have to do in order to drop him and beat him? You could have done that with Uncle Howdy. You could have gone ahead and made him.
Didn't they? Because he beat him down and beat him down and beat him down, but he didn't.
No, but he was down for a while. He was under the count. I mean, there was one point in time when he almost got counted out. I was like, why are you making Uncle Howdy look so weak? Like, you're supposed to be this scary person.
Yeah, but they also said they didn't want them to be supernatural again this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. There's a fine line there, though. And I agree, maybe they gave him a little bit too much to Chad Gable, but also you can't just have this guy running through like Chad Gable. I don't think it's got to be.
So if you want to make it that Chad Gable doesn't seem kind of weak, especially since you called it, he's been losing continuously, then that's fine. He could go ahead and punish Uncle Howdy, but make Uncle Howdy get up immediately. Make Uncle Howdy be like, or at least like as soon as he gets
okay, let me ask you this, Frankie. Let me do this, okay? And again, this is where I talk about there's the entertainment part, and then there's still the sport part, okay? If I punch you in the face 4 times in a row, I beat you down, I kick you, I whatever, and you just pop up, how does that make me look?
Well, remember, if you're going ahead and making it seem like, yo, I'm taking the hit, but as I take the hit, I'm not down for like 3 or 4 seconds just trying to catch my breath or doing anything like that. I'm trying to stumble my way back up because you're like, damn, he's clocking me, but this guy doesn't give up. This guy is like a demon. This guy is
that's what I think. No doubt hits it right on the head.
Yeah, but you didn't even get the twisted part out of it. You didn't.
The
only time
he laughs as you're kicking his ass. I mean,
he didn't laugh. Only one time he laughed when he was outside when the
Wyatt Six appeared.
No, right before the Wyatt Six.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they were looking down at him, and then he started laughing, and then
yes, that was the only time. That was the only time. Nothing else showed you Uncle Howdy going ahead and being like twisted and like laughing and like, because no doubt is right. Maybe if he acted more twisted, like when he would do suplexes on him and stuff like that, okay, you could see Uncle Howdy cracking up and being like, yeah, give me more or something like that, kind of psychotic. He didn't do that. He would, dude.
But you still have to sell the end. This is what, and this is what, and again, this is the old school get off my lawn guy talking now. Like, that's what I think wrestling has lost, though, man. Is like people get kicked in the face 4 times and just get up. Go outside and get kicked in the face by somebody. Do you just get right back up?
No, you don't get back up just immediately like that.
I mean,
No.
even The Undertaker, when he used to get slammed down, right? He would lay for a while, and then after a while, then he would rise back up. But he would stay down, and then he would rise back up.
I just think they did a
There's still a
disservice
way
to
you
him.
can sell to make that person look strong. And I understand what you're saying. Did they go a little bit? Maybe.
Because then you even had the
maybe,
Wyatt Sick come in.
or maybe the expressions, maybe Bo didn't execute the expressions the way they thought he would during the match or something. You got to remember, that was Bo's first singles match since 2018. 6 years.
Yeah. No,
6 years.
I saw that.
On top of that, it's a few days after the death of his, what has it been now? A year?
Damn, it's already been a year.
Brother, yeah, since the death. That's why that match. Look, the first thing I saw when that match was booked, I said, "Oh God, they're going to AEW." Uncle Howdy and Chad Gable on Raw. I'm like, what are we doing? And then they you go down the rabbit hole and they're like, Bray Wyatt passed away. I believe it was the 24th. I believe it was like 24th, 25th there. And then that match was on the match was the 25th. So I think he was the 23rd, I believe. Somebody
Bray Wyatt passed away August 24th.
August 24th. And then that match was the 25th. Or no, the 26th, sorry. Yeah. 26th. Saturday was the 24th. And then the 26th was the match, which for me, then I said, okay. Again, it's all the tribute stuff. It's him in the corner doing the tribute, the arm, the thing, the Bray stuff. It's that's what it is. I think it's going to take him a little bit of time to get into, doing all of that, which I think, you're talking about. It's like,
I just look again. I didn't like the fact that they kept knocking him down and he took a hard time to try to get back up and try to win. I mean, like I told you, there was a point in time when he actually almost got counted out. Number two, I hated the fact that he had to wrestle with all that crazy ass hair. That must be dreadful, wrestling with all that hair. I think they need to do something different with it. I heard in another podcast that he should just paint his hair white. I think that would help him. And then number three, I didn't like that the Wyatt Six came and helped him. I think he's Uncle Howdy. He doesn't need the Wyatt Six to help him. He's the leader. I think
they took out the extra people that were beating up on him.
Correct. I think
it's not like they helped him beat Chad Gable.
What I would have liked them to do is that I would have liked them to allow Uncle Howdy to get punished by the Creed brothers more and more, and then the Wyatt Six. If I was I'm the one tearing. If I was the one writing the story, I would just have the Wyatt Six appear and then just stand in different corners and not even attack the Creed brothers, and then see how Uncle Howdy's twisted, demented kind of mind works, where they don't know what to do, that they're freaked out, or he's like, keep going, keep hitting me, and he doesn't care, like something like that. I didn't like the fact that
that makes the Creeds look crappy, man.
It doesn't make the Creeds look crappy.
Yes, it does, man.
Why?
You're two people beating down on one guy. He just gets up and says, "Give me more. Get up, give me more. Get up,
yeah,
give me more.
Give him more. Yeah,
or like
beat him to a pulp.
There's also too much going the other way to where it's like, bro, like. So
okay, so you got my opinion.
Let me ask you this then: the next time the Creeds verse somebody and they hit somebody with their finishing move, which you just saw Uncle Howdy take and then say, "Give me more," I'm supposed to believe that now that can put anybody away?
Yes, because not every wrestler is Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy is a different type of breed. That's why. You're selling that with Uncle Howdy. You're not selling that with.
But they also said they didn't want this to go supernatural.
Okay, so you got my perspective on it. What did you think about it? Did you like it?
I didn't mind it. I thought the thing is maybe they had him do a little bit too much of the bumping and stuff. But to me, he's the Jason Myers, right? All the villains in the movies, right? You stab them, you shoot them, you throw them in the river with a brick on their leg, but all of a sudden they just come back up and they keep fighting. Mm-hmm. They show up again. You open up a door and there they are again. That's what I think you're getting from him. That's the part that you're getting from them. He's going to take a beating. He's going to keep getting up, and then he's going to keep coming for more. He's a demented soul.
And you got that from that fight.
Some of it. Again, I think they did give Chad Gable too much.
So then why are you arguing with me if you agree with me that they did give too much?
Because you're like,
Gable?
oh, they should have gave him more, and then he should. No, they should not have beat him down more.
They could have. Yes, they could have. Definitely they could have.
Why? Like I think he gave them too much in that. Like I think they shouldn't have given him a lot of time on the match, honestly. It should have been Chad Gable come in, slam, then goes to do something else right into Sister Abigail, done.
And that was another thing. Did you see the Sister Abigail? Like like he was down, and then all of a sudden he just grabbed them and did the Sister Abigail, and that's it. He beat him 1, 2, 3. It was like out of the blue.
Yeah,
I didn't like that. I didn't like that finish either. I thought that was like
it probably got to the time to where they had to go home.
I don't know.
It went too long because again, that's what happens though when you have also finishes like that where you're waiting on people outside the ring to do what they got to do and leave. So now the cameras can come back to you to catch the finish. You can't move until you got the, like I thought the funniest thing was, I don't know if you've ever seen this one video. They've got the one thing where they go to break, and it was when they were doing the introductions, and it's the Street Profits, and he's standing right in front of the camera, and he's just standing there like a mannequin. And then the music hits as soon as they're like 3, 2, he starts dancing, and then 1, and then they're live on the show, and he's walking back into the ring. But when it's dark at the ringside area, he's just standing there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. It's like you rely so much on a lot of the timing on live TV that, again, little things like that throw things off because now you sit for too long. Or you can't do the other, we can't do the duck the clothesline. Now we have to go home because we have to be off the air by this time so that we can do the, and then go to fade to black or whatever. There's things all to the production, and one little thing just throws it off. But overall, I didn't look, man. I don't know that I had expectations per se for what I thought it was going to be but that's also why I said once you put them in the ring, you can't pull it back. That's what happened also with Bray Wyatt is once they got him in the ring, they're like, okay, now that this isn't a cinematic match, it's a little bit different. What the hell are we going to do?
Yeah, but they were able to do a lot for many, many years with The Undertaker. Why wouldn't they be able to do the same thing with Uncle Howdy?
But The Undertaker wasn't, again, that's where the supernatural type things, that was the Fiend and Uncle Howdy. It worked well in the cinematics because it went from Bray Wyatt to then he could switch to the Fiend and then back to Bray Wyatt. He could dress up as John Cena and then back to the Fiend. Like those things work in that like horror movie cinema type stuff. It doesn't work so much when it's just one cut and you're out there wrestling. Think about it. When Seth Rollins beat him, what did he throw? 600 chairs on him? In the cage match, the Hell in the Cell match, is like 600 chairs on top of Uncle Howdy, or on top of Bray Wyatt. What was the Randy Orton one? He set him on fire.
Yeah.
Like all those matches were always just, and again, you have to. That was the problem that they were kind of having with the Bray Wyatt is just so far ahead of its time to where it didn't work. The Undertaker worked because what did he do? That was it was an urn he held up and then he went, or he followed the urn wherever it went. That was it. Once you took the urn, you took his powers. And they used that a couple times in the storyline. There wasn't a lot of, they set the casket on fire the one time, and then they had the I don't know what it's called. It was neon lights, strobe light. Undertaker leave the arena through the after they burned the casket with Orton and his dad and stuff like that. I mean, they did certain things like that, but not during the matches. There was never that. supernatural type thing during the matches.
Yeah, but you were always able to find opponents that would cater to the Undertaker, like Kane. I remember when they had Undertaker versus Undertaker, Mankind versus the Undertaker. Those were iconic. Why don't they do that with Uncle Howdy? I know it's early, but I'm saying like those type of things will stand out.
But also, I don't think they've built up. Like, I honestly thought Karrion Kross and the Final Testament would have been good opponents for the Wyatt Six, but they haven't built them up that way.
Well, not only that,
they're losing to the New Day and everything else. Like, so
they're doing a horrendous job.
They haven't been good at all. Like,
yeah, they're doing.
To me, that would be the group that you would build up to become that opponent type thing.
And not only that, they did a horrendous job with Karrion Kross. He just doesn't fit when it comes to the main roster. I don't understand why. I think I don't know, man. I think eventually you're gonna see WWE lay him off eventually because they just don't know how to use him.
No, Triple H likes him. I think I don't know why they're doing the slow thing with him, but hopefully it changes soon. But again, or maybe they'll just play him out and then just not, as you say, just let him go at the end of his deal here. But I know Triple H does like him and his size and everything else, but what they say and what you see are two different things.
Yeah.
So all right. The other thing I want is do you feel like Triple H and WWE have kind of mailed in this Bash in Berlin build?
Yes and no. I mean, I like what they did with Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. I think that's been it's gotten better than the first time. I didn't agree with Kevin Owens having to be a little sissy and saying, "Oh, I don't want to fight because I don't deserve it" and shit. But I guess they're selling it a little bit better now because he's kind of like being that.
I love that what's his thing? Grayson Waller effect.
Mm-hmm.
I love what they did when they played the video of Kevin Owens turning on everybody.
Yeah,
like Sami Zayn NXT. Sami Zayn again. it was
yeah. That was good. Like, see, so why didn't they start it off with like that? See, I think that buildup between Cody and KO was good if you just eliminate the whole,
you have to remember, Cody gave it to him out of respect. Kind of there. No, but listen, gave it to him out of respect, and now everybody's trying to turn it into, oh, you're going to respect the guy that doesn't deserve the respect. He turns on every one of his friends.
Yes,
and that's kind of like, and you saw it in Cody's face at the end of the show. Like, that's the first time where Cody, you looked at him and he's looking at Kevin Owens like, was he going to hit me with the belt? Or was he not? And again, that's the part that I like, because at least they're selling the thing like, again, will anything happen? Maybe, maybe not. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Owens hits him with the belt and almost wins, and Cody kicks out at 2 or something at the pay-per-view.
He should hit Cody with the belt. He should have hit him this past Friday. I think it would have
this week.
I would have
put the Bash in Berlin, and it'll be a small crew.
Now the CM Punk versus the Drew McIntyre. I agree with you. It lost steam after the match that they had before. What was it, SummerSlam, I guess?
That's Rollins one, yeah.
So that was a little bit disappointing. I mean, I like the strap match, but again, like,
well, the thing is, I think you're gonna see CM Punk won the first one, right? Or no, Drew won, right?
Drew won it.
Drew won them. CM Punk will win the strap match, and then supposedly at Bad Blood, it'll be Hell in a Cell between the two of them.
You're gonna go that far?
Yep.
Damn. Okay. I guess that's the route they're gonna take.
That's what, and if they do that, I gotta believe they're gonna be tied 1-1. Because if Drew wins this match, what the hell's Hell in the Cell for? Like, I don't understand what all that would be about. So, again, that is what I've seen planned. Well, again, will stuff change? You never know, man. You never know.
And then you got the Judgment Day. You got Dom and Liv versus Damien and
Yeah. You want to do our
Rhea.
picks now so we can go through them, or
Sure, we can. I haven't looked at the card as details, but
I mean it's there are 5 matches, buddy.
compared to the AEW,
Yeah, 5 matches. We'll be out in a half hour.
oh man, okay, all right.
All right,
Should
we'll
begin.
start. I'm going to give you the odds that they have here on this this thing. Damien and Rhea are 275 favorites. Dominic and Liv plus 185. Frankie Frezko, who you got?
Well, before we make our picks,
Now we got befores.
let's do
Let's
a
tell everybody that I'm leading 12-6 to 12-7.
Exactly. We just want to clarify, make sure everybody knows. So
He's up by half a
Frezko's
percentage point every.
12 wins, 6 losses in my picks, and you were at 12 wins and 7 losses. Look, for me, it looks like Rhea and Damian Priest should win this. This past Monday, Damian and Rhea look like they destroyed the hell out of JD McDonough and
Carlito.
and Carlitos. So this is a little bit tough because I although I see Rhea and Damian winning, I always have a fear that the Judgment Day is going to get involved one way or the other. I think this is going to continue. You can't just go ahead and allow Dom and Liv to lose so quickly. I'm going to go with Dom and Liv winning this one.
You know what the sad part about it is? I had the same thing. Because I just feel like it means more. And again, by them winning, I mean it's some kind of by hook or crook. Like it's going to be a roll up 1, 2, 3 or something. Like they're not going to sit there and like beat, them. But I feel like they're going to sneak one in here and have Damian and Rhea eat one here, because I believe, to me, the end result really is, of course, going to be Rhea against Liv, but also Damian versus Finn Balor. So that's why I think, or maybe Dominic just gets destroyed in this match. But either way, I've got Dominic and Liv. CM Punk minus 200, Drew McIntyre plus 150.
I mean, you kind of gave away your pick. It makes sense for them to give it to CM Punk. That way they could even the odds. So I'm going to go with CM Punk.
I'm going to lose by half a percentage point. You see where this is going. All right. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, but they spelled her name wrong. They're minus 100. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, minus 100. I'm going, see, man, this is where I feel like the swerve is coming soon, man. But also, I feel like they want to play it out longer. But like it's just they're so buddy behind this, like yeah, right, my girl. Like it's almost like you're waiting for one of them just to slap the other one. With Bianca and Jade is what I'm saying. And so, with that being said, I'm going Bianca and Jade. They get back their titles because they them bitches.
Yeah, I think Fire and Dawn did a great job of winning in their hometown. But I think that run comes to an end. I got Jay Cargo and Bianca Belair winning this one. I just don't see it. Those girls losing. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't.
Well, I already know which way we're going on these other two, so we're going to be tied all the way around. This is the worst. This is what I'm talking about. This is these pay-per-views. They know they're going to sell a lot of tickets overseas, and they let's put Gunther on the top of the card and Drew and all this stuff, and we throw Cody over there, and they just mailed this shit in, man. Just mailed this in. Cody Rhodes minus 6,000. Kevin Owens plus 1,500. Who you got, Frankie Frezko?
It'll be. I think hell will freeze over if KO wins this. Again, he's not worthy from the beginning of the whole buildup. He didn't deserve to win this match, and he didn't deserve to go against Cody. So he won't win because he doesn't deserve it in the first place. I got Cody Rhodes all day. I'm sorry, Sean. Sorry.
I know where we are now, man.
It
I'm
just
already down. I gotta take a chance. You're right. I'm going. Come on, KO, baby. You can do it. Come on. Pull that Kevin Steen out of you. I need Kevin Steen.
Okay, if you had to pick one that is like 50-50, and this is me helping you out, I would pick the Dom Liv one as the 50-50 one. I think Damian Priest and Rhea could probably pull it out. Because then you could Damian Priest can knock out.
All right, I'll take Damian and Rhea. That's it. It's locked in. Done.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'm helping you out.
I know. I can't wait till you have to cut your head with a razor blade.
I don't know about all that, but okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we're doing.
I don't even know some of these damn Wheel of Death things.
I made the deal.
You can't just make the deal without showing the
public.
What
are you talking about? Yes, sir.
Wheel.
Sports
no, we actually have to show the wheel.
Entertainment. I spun the wheel, and it went.
I don't even know. And you want to know something? The other crazy thing is that if that actually does happen, that Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley wins, I should get half a point because I was the one that gave you the advice to go for them.
Screw that, you lose.
I just gave you a good reason to go with them. You were gonna go with KO because we all know that.
You know what is after that AEW, I kind of went with I used my brain housing group and made up all these things, and nothing even went. All the lower card was just like very AEW-ish. I should have went. You were right. You're Mr. AEW. You picked everything right. So
this is what I spoke to you about this, and I told you, I was like, look, last time you destroyed me at a horrible card, and I was overthinking it. I said, I'm gonna go straight with what makes sense. And if you're looking at this WWE Bash in Berlin, the only
match you're right. The only match, if you look at it, is unless they decide not to do dominant Drew and CM Punk on the thing. Hey, can you hold on one moment? I'll be right back.
Yeah. The only way I could see this, because if you look at it, there's no way Gunther's losing. There's no way that Cody's gonna lose. So we already know those two are gonna win, right? But then, what do you guys think? CM Punk. It doesn't make any sense for CM Punk to lose. So if CM Punk wins, it evens it up and then it lines up. So the only other two matches that technically you could honestly say can be 50-50 is the Dom, Liv versus Damian and Rhea, and then obviously the Jade and Bianca Belair versus Fire and Dawn. It's the only two. Those are the only two you could honestly, those two matches are the only ones that you could honestly say it might be 50-50 if that. But I don't see it. It's so predictable. And now Sean is saying, did WWE meld in this card? Did they do that? I think so. They honestly went ahead and they just said, screw it. We're just gonna go and give you guys something because we know you fans are gonna tune into it and you're gonna eat it up. But it's just there's not too much to think about when it comes to this card. And this is what I thought about Bash in Berlin. I knew this was gonna happen because they put so much effort in SummerSlam. They put that you kind of went ahead and said to yourself, "Hey, look, it's pointless. They're gonna take it easy. They're gonna take a chill pill and they're gonna be like, yo, it's chill." Remember, guys, they were having a hard time finding Cody a fighter. They had to move Randy Orton from SmackDown over to Monday Night Raw to give Gunther an opponent. Look at all the things they had to do. They've been building up Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Fire and Dawn for quite some time. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, how long has that been going on? Not to mention that Seth Rollins guest referee kind of screwed it over. And then Dom and Liv. That's the only one technically that is kind of new but we all knew Dom was gonna screw over Rhea Ripley at one point in time. So it's like everything was predictable. And this is the problem with WWE. And I told this to Sean a couple of times, not only in this episode, but in previous episodes that we've had, that the problem with WWE is that it's just too predictable what they do. Again, how many of you guys think that Uncle Howdy was going to lose against Chad Gable? How many of you guys? No, it wasn't going to happen. Chad was not going to win. We all knew that. He's been freaking out, shitting in his pants, hoping when he goes against Uncle Howdy, and then you're going to beat him? No, he was going to win. Uncle Howdy was going to win the whole time. What is this? Now, if you guys watch, if there's one thing I did like, and I think somebody brought it up, it was Bronson Reed versus this guy, Braun Strowman. Now that match was good, but did you guys? I really liked it when Bronson Reed threw himself from the top and hit him on the car. Now that was the most exciting part out of the whole Monday Night Raw, to be honest with you, because the first thing. There's two things that I thought when I saw that match. Number one was, hey, what did they do? Like, because you saw the spark. I was wondering, I was like, what happened here? Did they really mess up the car, or did they throw like a little spark? Because if you notice, then there was smoke coming out of underneath the hood. So I was wondering that, number one. And then number two, I saw that they hit two cars. So I was like, I wonder if those are rental cars and how much, if they took the insurance out of those two rental cars, because that I used to work in a car rental company. So that was the first thing that rang in my head. I was like, I wonder if the cars both got insurance, because they look brand new. They look pretty brand new cars. So I was like, man, I wonder if they took the damage waiver. They better have taken the damage waiver for those two cars, because I knew that he had messed up both of those cars. I was like, damn, I figured they could mess up one, but I didn't think they were going to mess up two cars. But Sean, I was just telling them about, the only thing that was exciting that wasn't predictable was Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed. That was probably the highlight of Monday Night Raw in my eyes, because everything else was so predictable.
Yeah, they're building him as a monster, man.
They did.
I didn't see that happening with the Braun Strowman thing. I thought it was gonna be kind of like two bulls hitting, and then everybody separating them and let's run it back. It was pretty. That was unexpected. You're right.
We need to put that in the Wheel of Death. That whoever loses lays on top of the hood, the top of the roof of a car, and the other one jumps from a higher area and slams on that person like that. Now I don't know what car we're gonna damage. I don't know.
It's dumb. If anything, you get power bomb from the hood onto the hood roof.
Why do you have to take it like to the extreme?
Okay, let me ask you this: if you're getting the punishment, why do I have to damage my knees and elbows to protect you?
No, the punishment. What I am taking a big. How much do you weigh? You're destroying me. I don't weigh not nearly as big as you. You're bigger than me, at least 2 or 3 times bigger than me, bro. You're gonna destroy me. How am I gonna take that hit if you were to do that? That's a guys, right? How many of you guys would you like to have Sean land on?
I know what happens to me when I have to do that.
But if I have to do that, on you, you're gonna like laugh. You're gonna be like,
well, first off, if you do it correctly, I should not even feel it.
Exactly. That's why.
Exactly. So you'll be the person giving it will take more of the punishment than the person getting.
No.
Yes.
Why would I feel it more than the person receiving it? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get that. Why? My knees are not gonna hit the car. Now the only bad thing is that we need to find a car that's like messed up.
I'm never going one-on-one with you, man.
We need to go to a junkyard. Oh, we could have a junkyard fight. That's
There's been a junkyard match here when they did at the BB&T Center, WCW. You know the junkyard off of Sunrise Boulevard? There's a junkyard right off 95 and Sunrise. Okay. They did basically a junkyard match there.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was one of those AEW type things where they needed something for everybody and they just throw them in there. 50 people jump in there. Go. Come out of everywhere. No, but overall, man, dude, I'm telling you now, though, man, to me this week, AEW has picked up momentum and WWE is stagnant right now. And I think it will be that way until we get past Bash in Berlin. Yeah. Because to me, Bash in Berlin is just a safe pay-per-view for them. Just go over there. We already got it sold, this and that. Let's go over there. Nobody get hurt. And then we come back for the rest of our pay-per-views. Because now you've got Bad Blood, which leads then into Survivor Series. And then you got one more, and then you'll go to Royal Rumble.
And you know that a lot of people, you're not getting Roman in this pay-per-view. So
no, you're not. You're not getting. I guarantee on SmackDown, you'll get the darkroom thing. You'll get the solo darkroom again, and them holding the finger up. You won't even get like this to me. Besides Jacob Fatu, like this, they've made it's dropped.
But let me ask you
something. They did for leading up to where Roman would come back. To me, I've lost that much more for Solo since he's come back.
But you got mad at me because I told you that WWE was becoming too predictable, and the fans were eating up on all this crap. And look, now you're agreeing with me, saying, "Hey, look, it's nothing new. They half-assed it right now."
Well, no, they've half-assed this up to here, but they're still throwing things in. It's not. You predicted him to take the title of Jacob Fatu and give it back to Tonga Loa. You predicted Street Profits to dominate the bloodline, and then Jacob Fatu kick him in the head and then win. Like those are the things you like that where I say like it's a little bit different, but also I feel like if you're feeding this bloodline to set up for a feud with Roman, I'm not buying it right now. I'm not into it as much as I was when Roman came back. That Solo Sikoa-led bloodline was out for blood. Everything they did up to that point was great, leading up to when Roman came back, it's taken a step back.
They need Paul Heyman, baby. Bring back Paul Heyman, my friend.
Roman doesn't need anybody. All you gotta do is be able to take out Jacob Fatu, and you end it.
It's not that. You have Roman attack. Roman is beating them up, and then all of a sudden you see one of them come out in the back, and they have Paul Heyman, like hostage wise, and then Roman Reigns doesn't know what the hell to do. Holy crap! What happened?
No. If I'm Roman, I'm just like, kill his fat ass.
No, come on, man. That's
travel cheap, baby.
But you know what? That would be something unpredictable. That would be pretty good, because then you wouldn't know what to expect.
Or what I would do is I would know what I have behind you. Jimmy Uso, whatever it's going to be. I'm like, go ahead, take him out. And then when you go to do something, they come from the back. Boom. Save the wise man. Like, wise man, always got you, buddy.
Nah, what I would do, man, is I would have the wise man got kind of hostage, and then when Roman is like he doesn't know what to do, and he's about to save the wise man. Instead of Roman saving him, you hear Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar saves the wise man, and it's the return of Brock Lesnar with the wise
man. Dude, honestly, I don't know which way they're gonna go with this. I don't
bring my boy Brock back.
Because, I think now they're giving Jey Uso the push again for the IC title type thing in there. So we'll see where that goes. But also, I don't think for everybody so mad, I don't want Jey Uso to really have a title. I just like him showing up and yeeting all over the place, do his match and have fun, man. I don't want him to have a title. He doesn't need the title.
I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit disappointed in Corey Graves. Did not do the yeet like Pat McAfee does.
That was no, not many people do. I mean, this guy's drinking in the Irish bar and lit up on ESPN TV, slurring. That's good shit.
I love it. That was so good. That was so good.
Drew, Sheamus, buddy, another pint.
Wait, talking about that, did you agree with Pete Dunne winning that triple threat? That was
Can I tell you what I feel like? I feel like Sheamus is going to be in one of these three, and he's going to win. And then they're going to eliminate each other, and then Jay's going to pin whoever the other fourth person is. That's how it's going to go.
I know my boy Dom is going to be up there. Hopefully he can pull it off.
He's not going to pull it off, buddy.
Sir, why you always putting Dom on the ground, bro? From it, I mean, Dom needs to make that comeback. He has momentum riding on the side. He beats Damian.
When your dad is 5'2" and says he's gonna smack the silly mustache off your face, and your comeback is, "Do it, old man." Bro,
Do it, old man.
Do it, old man.
I love it. Love it.
And then JD McDonough goes to punch him, and then you stick him and knock him down. That's good stuff. All right, man. Let them know where they can get you, man. And you show tomorrow, or what you got going on?
Yeah, we'll be on tomorrow, 8:00. Let me talk to you. We'll be talking about the roster moves of the Miami Dolphins. We'll talk about Tua and Brian Flores. We'll talk about Tom Brady defending Brian Flores. We talk about that stuff. We like the controversy. Of course, we love the controversy. Controversy sells, ladies and gentlemen.
Controversy creates cash.
Yes. So we
Eric
need,
Bischoff. Beautiful.
so we need to go ahead and talk about it. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, why are you citing Tom Brady? Because we need to hear his side of the story. There's always two sides to the story. Always.
But that would be a third side to the story. Because you have Tua's side, Brian Flores' side. Now Tom Brady's thrown in a side. Van Eagle threw in a side. You've had Xavier Howard throwing a side. Javon Holland throwing a side.
As a matter of fact,
sides, what do we got? An octagon?
As a matter of fact, how many people are siding with Tua on this topic, and how many people are siding with Brian Flores? That's a good topic right there. Number two, we have a guest. We have a special guest tomorrow. It's gonna get really, really nasty tomorrow, guys. And the reason I say it's gonna get nasty is because we're bringing in a hardcore University of Miami fan. And of course, the University of Florida plays the University of Miami. So I don't know what to expect. My brother's going to kind of be the mediator between the two of us because that person just really, really loves UM. And you guys know him. You guys will see. You guys will recognize him. If you watch Manny's podcast, you know who I'm talking about. He will be on Let Me Talk to You, defending the University of Miami, while Frankie Frezko will be defending the Florida Gators. We're making our predictions. We'll be talking about why in the world does the University of Miami Hurricane fans hate so much the Florida Gators, and why the Florida Gators will be beating the University of Miami this weekend. So it should be an intense one-on-one.
We still have our bet on this?
We had a bet on this?
Oh, did I freeze or Frankie freeze?
I think you froze. No, I'm still here. Nobody froze.
You. I didn't. You froze on my screen, so I don't know who froze. But we still have our bet going on for this.
What is the bet that we did?
The Gators against the Canes, right?
Yeah, but what was the consequence?
It was if they win, you owe me $500, and if the Gators win, I give you 50 cents.
No, get out of here, bro. Yeah, get out of here.
Fair deal. Yeah, he was wearing the jersey or something, right?
I think it was. Yeah. I wear as a matter of fact, tomorrow I'll be wearing my Florida Gator jersey. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Our viewership is gonna skyrocket with that taking place. Actually, you know what, Sean?
You should come in with the Gators fight song.
It's not a bad idea. I'm
2 bits, 1 bit, 2 bit.
Yes, sir. Or I'll probably be screaming out orange, blue. I mean, so guys, it's gonna be intense tomorrow because of that UM fan, that UF hater over there. Not Sean, even though I know Sean doesn't like UF either. None of you guys like UF. God damn it! I think I'm the only Gator who anybody actually enjoys watching. It's just kind of sad. Besides Tim Tebow. But yes, let me talk to you. 8 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be going live on the Frankie Frezko YouTube channel, and then you can follow me at Frezko Music. You see the name there all the time. Boom, boom, right there. And yeah. Oh, and call me the IGR Mix Master 2024 champion, baby. Right. Again, we're gonna be
by his names. Call him by his names, champ.
The champ it is.
Champ. And you can catch me, Stanley Media House, IG and Threads, Stanley Media _11 on X. Everybody watching on X, appreciate you. Please jump over to the Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. Jump over to the Frankie Frezko YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all of you guys for everything you do for us every Tuesday. I will be back tomorrow night for the reaction show of Dynamite. Let's see here. No Doubt said Noel's already found out. Yeah, DJ. He just has not been impressive wherever he goes. I don't know what it is about him, because he seems like he has it together for a little bit, and then like it just go when it goes, and he can't bring it back. Because that first drive was beautiful, and then after that, he started spraying the ball a little bit. But I don't know.
My problem with the University of Florida, with Florida State University, and it is their coach. I don't believe in Mike Norvell. I think he is not a good coach, and I
He's
think
the what's the Clemson coach? Dabo Sweeney,
Mhm.
right? Because Dabo won't go in the transfer portal; he recruits. And Norvell, at least my understanding is he doesn't recruit well, and he tries to build through the transfer portal.
Well, dude, he recruited. He had the most Alabama recruits from there. Like all those transfers that came from Alabama went to Florida State, and
Yeah.
this is what they put out there against Georgia Tech. We're gonna talk about it because you guys know that my brother is a big Florida State fan. He was disappointed. I was very upset because
No doubt wants to fight you. I think I don't know if it's me or you. I'm not sure which one. Hopefully, he doesn't want to fight me. I'm not a fighter.
I mean, a lot of people don't like the Florida Gators. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We're not a strong team as years ago, but I feel the same way that Florida State is not strong. And after what I saw them go against Georgia Tech, and if this
Yeah,
game,
but also I think Georgia Tech is better than people think they are, because if they don't make mistakes, think about this: they have a very ball controlled offense. If they can keep the ball and they don't turn it over and they score, I think FSU only got like 3 or 4 drives in the second half. It wasn't like you got a lot of drives.
No doubt. Here's the thing: he brought FSU from the slums. You're absolutely right, but he's not officially completely out of it yet. And that's how we honestly thought this year was going to be when he turned the next page, when he actually made Florida State a contender. And we just saw that he went back to his old ways of making Florida State look bad. And that's the reality, the truth. That's why Florida State, I'm sorry, they're pretenders. They're not contenders, my friend. Maybe they learn from this. Maybe they learn from this. Maybe they learn from this. I hope they do, because my brother's a big Florida State fan. He loves Florida State. We'll talk about it. Me and my brother. I mean, my brother was down. I blame my brother. I bet money on Florida State. See, I was going for you guys. I lost money because I bet on Florida State, and this is what Norvell gives me. No,
that's crazy, man.
And then as far as UM versus Florida, if the game was being played in Miami, I would say, yo, Florida's gonna get their asses kicked. But it's at the Swamp. So that gives us a fighting chance. And I think we're going to pull it off. That's the truth.
Well, there's one of the great, and again, please make sure you subscribe to both YouTube channels. Follow us on all our social media platforms. And there's one Canes fan that has something to say to you, Frankie Frezko.
I think I know where you're going with this.
What?
I think I know where you're going.
He has this to say to you and all of the Gator fans. We'll see you next week, Square Circle Digest.